Are you feeling stressed? Does it stress you out at all?
No, not at all. My kids just got home from school, though, so...
Do you need to go?
I think it's noisy. I apologize.
Yeah, don't worry about the noise. That's no problem. And if you got to go do some matriarchal duties, don't feel bad about it.
It might be kind of funny, so it's all good.
Okay, perfect. So, Leanne, when, where, and how, and why did you start playing bagpipes?
All right.
Give me like the biopic here.
The life story of Leanne Johnson.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so many of you probably know my sister Lynette. She's 10 years older than me. Now you know how old she is. So,
Yep, she's 30 years old. That's right.
Forever 29. So, she played bagpipes in the Payson High School pipe band under Mr. Chatwin. So, like, back when it very first got started, it was probably about the third or fourth or fifth year that after he started the band.
And to be clear now, was Mr. Chatwin the band instructor who started?
Yes, so he was the original person who started everything Scottish in Payson.
Mm-hmm.
So
a name we should
Chatwin.
all know.
Yes. So she was in that band, and I was like a little tiny kid, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I was like, I'm going to play bagpipes when I get to high school. So when I turned 15, I didn't want to take the pipe class because I didn't like, I didn't like a certain teacher very well.
Do you want me to cut that out?
It's okay. I don't know. He's not going to hear it, is he?
You never know.
You can cut out his name. Yeah,
because then it could be anybody who taught a chanter class in Payson.
Well, so here's the thing, though. Like, he was my math teacher, and he was kind of mean to me. So I was like, I'm not taking bagpipes from him, but he was the one that you asked about bagpipes to.
Yeah.
I asked him. I ended up actually. He didn't have room to teach me lessons like in his schedule. So I actually took lessons from his wife, Leanne.
Mm-hmm.
So
has she played with the Utah pipe band? Am I remembering right?
Yeah. So she was with White Peaks when I learned from her, but then she was actually this is like we're jumping forward years and years and years. When I was in the Utah pipe band, she was actually pipe major.
Yeah. I was thinking she was
then
pipe major
also.
Over there. Okay.
So I took from her, and then I tried out for the Payson High School pipe band. And I made it in, and a couple years later, I was the pipe major. So
nice.
My senior year, I was the pipe major of it, so that was cool.
So and where'd you go from there?
Oh, where did I go from there?
Yeah,
okay,
let's carry this story forward.
Okay, so after high school, I went up to Utah State University. But between high school and college, I played with White Peaks Centennial Pipe Band in Payson. And then up at college, we actually started the Utah State Pipe Band. Me and Lisa Saunders and Camille Hine, and there were a couple of us. Amy Walker might have been up there too. I can't quite remember who all was up there.
Now, was the Utah State Pipe Band that you started, is that what became what is now the USU Scotsman?
I believe it is, because
Gotcha.
It was like right after we all left, like whoever, they like all kept going. So like we played in parades, and we did like homecoming. I don't know. We played on the quad and all kinds of fun stuff. Can you hear that piano coming through?
Only in the most beautiful and relaxing of ways. Okay. Don't worry about that. That's
my 9-year-old practicing his piano. I can close the door if you want to.
No, it's fine. It's ambience.
Okay. So from Utah State.
And so now that when you started that, was that a university specific pipe band, or were you letting people from the community also join?
That was just a club, but we were all college students at the university.
Gotcha.
So we didn't really, I don't know if we were in the process of getting a sponsor from the school. I don't quite remember I wasn't involved in that part. And then I had just gotten married and stuff. So, and then I taught my husband how to play the bagpipes. So Danny plays the bagpipes because I taught him.
And the fact that you two are still together after you taught him how to play bagpipes speaks volumes to the strength of your relationship. So I congratulate you there.
Well, and the fact that I'm just a better piper, so it's not an issue at our house.
Well, as long as it's established, nobody has to question it.
I'm just kidding. If he gets better than me, I will be so freaking proud of him. And, I'll just let it be because I'm happy where I'm at. And so that would be really cool, actually. I hope my 13-year-old gets better than me, too. So,
awesome.
So from Utah State, let's see. We were up there. Where did I go from there? We went to Salt Lake City. So after we graduated, we had baby Ruben, and we graduated at Utah State, and we moved to Salt Lake City for a year while my husband did an internship. And while we were in Salt Lake City, we played with the Utah Pipe Band. Mm-hmm. But I think I played for them for more than just the year, though, because I had a couple of kids, I think,
Do you remember, is the Utah Pipe Band the oldest, what did they say, concurrently running pipe band in the state?
Yes, they're the oldest pipe band in the state.
They have some cool family legacy where, like, the grandson of the founder is still there or something like that, right?
Yeah, so Andrew Barclay is the pipe major currently, and he is Dave Barclay's grandson.
That's right.
Dave started it, and Jim Barclay and John Barclay, the brothers, they play with their children and some grandchildren in that band.
Cool.
So it's actually really awesome.
Yeah,
and it was a great band to be in. I really, really enjoyed it. So after Utah Pipe Band, after Salt Lake, we moved to Orem, and we still went to Utah Pipe Band for a while. And then
bit of a drive, though, right? Do they practice right in Salt Lake City, or are they?
That was hard. No, they're up. They're at Memorial States. Actually, they're just in Sandy, so it wasn't so bad because we lived in Orem. So that's why we were still in their band. So we played with them. I probably played for them for 3.5 years, I think. Mm-hmm. And then let's see, where did we go from there? So from Orem, no, we lived in Orem for 4 years. So I played with them just about the whole time we lived in Orem and Salt Lake. And then we moved down to Payson for a year because we lived in my parents' house while they were in Maine for a year.
Cool.
And so when we were in Payson, we weren't in a band. We tried really hard to join White Peaks, but we actually went to go get uniforms out of the closet, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Just thinking of wearing those cross ties again. I was like, no, I can't do it. I cannot wear this uniform again.
It was the cross ties that did it.
It was the cross ties. It was. So we didn't do band for a little while. And then we joined the Thomas Cordner Memorial Pipe Band. Back then, they were still called the Timpanogos Pipe Band.
Right.
I tried to talk them out of the super long name, but Joe wouldn't listen. So I played with them. I've played with them off and on over 10 years with Thomas Cordner.
Really?
So,
give me just 1 sec.
Yeah.
Hey, no, what's up, babe? Oh. I think my daughter was just coming to say something to me, but they turned around, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry about that. So you played off and on for like 10 years with Thomas Cordner?
Yeah, I've played with them for a really long time.
Awesome.
And
this, for anybody who might not know as they listen to this is the band that's run by Joe, is it Perry or Peary?
Uh-huh. Joe Perry.
Who's also Karate Joe, with the dojo that's in Orem.
Yeah, he's on Facebook or whatever. He's called Karate Orem or something.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, so Joe Perry. So I've played with him off and on for 10 years. And then
and he's also got that Irish band whose name I can't pronounce, but
Roguery Dub.
They play some great music.
They are really fun, and they're a really fun bagpipe group too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I know a few people who play there. They're great people.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I actually really enjoy their band, and I'd probably still be playing with them, maybe, except it wasn't like the best atmosphere for an up-and-coming drummer, so it's kind of Ruben's fault that we quit.
Yeah, blame it on your kids. That's cool.
Yeah, and it was kind of hard for Danny too, so he's still kind of considered a newish piper, even though he's been playing for probably like 14-ish years or more, because he works full-time, so
Right, yeah.
It's always been kind of like a back burner thing, so just now he's starting to get back into it really big. Mm-hmm. So it was a hard band because it was like, learn these 40 tunes and we're going to throw any one of them out at you at any given time. But because I had been playing with them for so long, I already knew most of them.
Yeah.
Whenever I'd go back or whatever, I had breaks between like having kids and stuff, so.
But then you'd only have to catch up on a few tunes that you might have missed. And...
Yeah, so it wasn't really a big deal to catch up on a couple of tunes. And I learned them really quite fast, so it wasn't a big deal for me. So, but for him, it was a hard band, kind of frustrating. And his bagpipes were really hard, and like just, it was hard for him. And then for Ruben, he was like between the ages of 10 and 12 when he was trying to start kind of learning drums for real. And there wasn't really anyone to teach him in that band. So then he found Zach Lees, and he started taking lessons from Zach. And so once we had like 2 pipe bands, I was like, I'm done with mine. So I just started kind of coming to Garden Valley with him just for fun. And I had to drive him anyway, so why not? So I quit Joe's band and started coming to Garden Valley a little bit with Ruben so that he could fix or finish or whatever, keep going, continue with his drumming career. So yeah, cool. So that's, and now I help with the Payson High School pipe band.
Which, did your sister not run that band for a while?
She did. She ran it when like Sean and Swan, they were her students in junior high, and then in high school she was in charge of the band. So she actually took over the band from Carrie Welton it was like the summer after I graduated. So I actually played in the band. I finished being pipe major, like I finished out that summer after I graduated, and Lynette was already in charge of the band by that point. So that was kind of fun. Now,
I hadn't realized, so Carrie was running the band, and then Lynette ran the band.
Yeah.
And then Carrie ran it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I started playing like the year Lynette stepped away and Carrie took over again. That's the year I entered the pipe band.
Yeah, because Lynette had moved to Tennessee, I think.
Right. I think that was the exact year, or maybe it was the year after that I started playing with the Payson High School pipe band.
Yeah.
So I was there with Swan and Sean and all those people, but just, offset a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So that's when, because they moved out of state, and so she's like, well, guess I'm done with that. So that was.
And Carrie, doesn't Carrie play with the Utah Pipe Band, or hasn't she in the past?
She has in the past. Yeah. At least when I was in high school, she played with Utah Pipe Band.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
She.
Cool.
Off and on, I guess. She probably still has a kilt. Who knows?
It's fun to see the web that gets woven between bands and between people and stuff.
Oh, for sure. And I've been in like 6 bands. So,
right. That's why I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think you've hit just about every band so far, haven't you? Wasatch and District is next. I don't want to play with them. You know what, Leanne? I'm going to have to bleep out so many things in this interview.
I love Swan and Lexi, so I could almost make it okay, but I just don't know. I don't know. I can't do it.
Well, you still need to go play at the Salt Lake Scots at some point as well, right? So you can put it up for a bit.
I'm friends with Larry Erdman, and he would welcome me with open arms. And I've never played with Ben Lomond either. So
that's right. That Ben Lomond became like a community band, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know. On the one hand, that seems awesome, but then I'm also like, so is there no longer a high school program at all there? I'm not even sure.
So what Larry told me the last time I talked to him about it was, because we both live in Springville. He's my buddy. I see him occasionally. He said that because the Scots help with that band.
Right.
Except now I kind of want to say that Wasatch and District helps with them. I'm not exactly sure. But they're also trying to take over the whole of all of Utah. So
I think Wasatch and District's aspirations might extend beyond the borders of Utah.
I think so too.
That's a well-oiled machine over there. I'm not sure what any of us can do.
I've been told that their goal was to have every band just be Wasatch and District.
Well,
bands, so.
I must say they are well on their way.
They're huge.
Of course, as someone who plays in another band, there's some level of rivalry inside of me, but I cannot help but marvel at the program they've built. It's massive.
It really is, well. And they sound phenomenal.
They do, yeah.
I would much rather be where I'm at. We're helping with the Payson High School band. My 13-year-old Patrick plays bagpipes in it, and Ruben, my 16-year-old, plays drums, and he instructs, and we help Diana instruct, and it's super fun. I love it. And then I have a couple of my own bagpipe students that do not live in Payson, they are actually in that band also. So it's really fun.
That's something else I wanted to ask you about. You are one of the teachingest pipers that I know.
I teach a lot, yeah.
Yeah. How many students do you have right now?
Currently, well, I have some that are kind of like on a break, but should I count them anyway?
Count them. Let's pad those numbers.
Okay, so I kind of don't count Danny anymore because we're married.
No, you get to count Danny for all eternity. That's part of the deal.
All right, Danny is for all eternity, my student. So Danny and then that live in my house. So there's 2 in my house. Sort of, maybe like 2.5, we could say.
All right.
And then I have a student. I have a student named plays with the Payson High School pipe band also, and I teach him private lessons. And then I have an adult student named, and I have another potential 2 adult student, actually 3 in my neighborhood. A husband and wife are potential bagpipe students. They actually just bought chanters, but he's giving them to her for their anniversary as a surprise. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm going to have 1 or 2 students from them. One of them at least is going to take bagpipe lessons. And then I have who has mentioned to me that he wants to take lessons, and I'm like, anytime, dude, but he just has never come. So he's a potential, but I teach a lot of bagpipe lessons.
And I mean, you do it all for the money, right? It's because you're getting rich off of it, right?
I am probably the cheapest teacher in all of Utah County, and I've been told I'm too cheap. I'm sorry. I cannot charge more than $10 a lesson. I can't.
You know, personally, I do charge more than that, but I do not fault you at all. I think you're doing a great work by charging a little less. And to most, I have a hard time really getting behind any argument that anybody charges too little for anything, because we are an endangered species. And I agree. Any performance, any lesson, anything to spread it, I think is a net positive for the group and for the art form.
I agree, and Danny and I help with the Payson High School band free of charge. We just do it because we love it, and it's just super rewarding, and it's really fun to, have your students go on. And I mean, I've had countless students who still play, and I love it. So my favorite, I think, is probably the high school age, just because being in the high school band was so much fun for me. Yeah. And so helping with that has just been super duper fun.
Yeah, with all of these bands that you've played with from high school on up, what do you have any really great band trips or really cool performances that stand out in your memory that you'd like to share a little story about?
There's probably like one from each, honestly. I've had some really great band experiences. We went to Denver one year to the games, and that was super duper fun. I really liked that trip. That was probably like my one of my first big trips, like in a pipe band, but I wasn't still in high school. Maybe I was. I don't think I was, because I would have been in the high school band. So it was just so much fun. We had such great friends. The Stewarts, Aaron and Colin Stewart, were in the band at the time, and Camille, she's been my best friend since we were 3. So, and to do pipe band with her throughout all these years has been really fun too. And so that Denver trip was super fun. I think it was just because it was like really far away from home, and I was like, yay, look at me in Denver, And then with the Utah Pipe Band, we went to, what is that place called? Jackson Hole, Wyoming, when they had the games there. And Danny and I drove, and we had baby Ruben in the car seat, in the back seat of the car, and Deanne was hugely pregnant. She was the pipe major, but she wasn't acting pipe major because she was pregnant. And then we had like another drummer in the car with us too, and that was a super duper fun trip, going up to Jackson Hole with the Utah Pipe Band. And then with Thomas Quarter, my favorite performance probably was Follow the Flag. That was so hard hiking up that. You did it last year, didn't you?
And it was hard, absolutely.
Hiking up that stupid hill, like that is the hardest hike ever with bagpipes.
You kind of figure playing's kind of hard, playing and walking's kind of hard, but once you get that down, you think you'll be fine. But no, do it at a 30-degree incline for what feels like so 5 or 6 hours.
But so cool. So one of the times that we did it, I think it was the second time we did it, we had Gail Halverson in a Jeep in front of us.
Oh, cool.
and he was like waving to people, and then they had like a commemorative candy bombing.
That's what I was going to say. For anybody who doesn't recall, Gail Halverson, he was the candy bomber, right?
So they had an airplane go over us once we were at the top, and they dropped candy with little parachutes on him. And as dead as Ruben was, he was probably like, how old were you on that one? 12? 13? He was little. He was so little, that drum was so heavy going up that mountain.
Oh, I bet. Did you get him did you get him like a junior sized drum, or was he playing a full size drum?
No, he was playing a full size drum.
Dang.
It was huge on him. And then so he's like dead at the top of this hill, and Danny and I are like, he's gonna like fall over or something, you know, like take your drum off, cool off. And then that candy bomber came over, and Ruben, all of a sudden, he like runs off into the mountains, into the hills and the trees, and he's gone for a little while. He totally came back with a candy bar. It was kind of awesome.
Awesome.
But that was a really fun gig. And then I'm trying to think of any other pipe bands. We did the homecoming parade. We were the first pipe band ever in the Utah State University homecoming parade, one of them.
That's cool.
So that was cool. And then with the Payson High School, I'm trying to think of, well, last year, Diana and us, we took them to Moab, and only a few of the students came, but that was really fun to see their excitement for a Scottish festival, because the few kids that came with us had never even been to a Scottish festival.
Oh, really? That was their first
So that was
time.
really fun.
That's awesome.
So that's really fun. And then when I was in high school, I can't even think, like, I loved the parade in Richfield, because you like passed the parade going back down the road. Did you ever do that one?
Richfield.
It's like 5 blocks long or something. So, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah, that does sound familiar, but
you're marching down this like triple-sized main street. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's massive. It was huge. At least in my brain, it was huge.
And then you turn around and march back.
And you turn around and march back while the parade is still going. So like you pass. It was hilarious, and I just thought it was so funny.
I don't know if I remember doing that or if I've just heard other people talk about it.
Weirdest parade ever. The other weird one was we did, what is that? Oh, Swiss Days up in
Heber? Up in Heber, yeah.
Yeah, we did the Swiss Days parade. That one was fun.
Yeah, you gotta go play some of them Swiss bagpipe tunes.
Yeah, so like this is big for me to be like, these parades were awesome, because I hate parades. Yeah. I mean, I hate being in them. The 4th of July one's the worst. But
you want to hear a confession? I'll tell you right now, I love the 4th of July parade.
I could see that.
I don't say it too out loud too often, you know, but I look forward to that one, even though it beats me up every year. I think it's a lot of fun.
Well, the crowds are amazing.
That's the thing.
I think it's just because it's so hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
So
There's a lot of horse
did it
poop
one
too.
year. Yeah.
I don't know why they have to have so many horses in that parade.
No. Well, we did it one year with Thomas Cordner, and we were number 1 behind the flag.
Oh, yeah.
That was the best 4th of July parade I've ever done, ever.
Not a puddle of horse pee in sight.
Nope, we were done by like 10 o'clock. It was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, before the heat hits and everything.
Yeah, it was great. So that one, I do kind of enjoy it too. I will say that. But most of the time I'm like, parade, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it is fun. I mean, we only get so many gigs as a band, you know.
Yeah, so. Parades are kind of what bands have to do to pay the bills. Yeah. So it's kind of your work as a band member.
It's pretty fun though.
Yeah.
Ruben, we should have had him tell the story of when he tripped in a parade. That was fun.
Let's have him tell it. Is he still around?
Do you want to come tell about when you tripped in the parade? I'll tell it. He doesn't want to talk anymore.
Tell me that story. Leanne, I'm already going to have to cut so many things from your interview. So
I know, I talk too much. I'm sorry.
Fill it up a little bit with a story that isn't going to incriminate you in any way.
No, Ruben, he was just little. He was like 12 or something. It was his first parade ever, and it was the one up in Salt Lake. And so, cobblestones, because it was at the Gateway.
Oh, right, at the Gateway, yeah.
And he was like carrying this massive drum, and we were walking kind of fast, and all of a sudden he like ate it. He fell over, like got all bloody on his leg, and like blood was oozing down into his hose and everything. And I'm in front of him, and I was freaking out because I'm his mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And he's like, leave me alone.
People are watching.
I'm fine. So It was crazy. So
Did
he does not love cobblestones.
But how was the drum?
The drum actually came out unscathed, didn't it? Like it did. He said there was a little scratch.
Of course, anytime a drummer falls, that's the first question you have to ask, right? Is the drum okay?
I know, he didn't break the drum head. He just the rim got a little scratched up.
Well, then I take my hat off to him. Admirable. He knew what was important.
I felt so bad though, because we kind of forced him to do that parade, his first parade. We're like, come on.
It's not a bad first parade. At least it's not very long.
Well, that's what we were thinking until the cobblestones.
Yeah, then you forget about those tripping hazards.
Yeah.
So, Leanne, who do you think is your biggest fan when it comes to bagpiping?
My biggest fan, or I'm a biggest fan of someone else?
No, who is your biggest fan?
Oh, I would have to say it's my mom. She freaks out every single time.
Oh,
every
good.
time.
That's sweet of her.
She's like, your ancestors are so proud of you. Your family is looking down, smiling from heaven. Oh.
Now I'll flip it though. Who's some of your favorite pipers or bagpipe bands to listen to?
You know what? I have to say that some of my favorite bagpipers are here in Utah. I really admire Jim Barclay. He's one of my favorite people to talk bagpipes with. He's just such a down-to-earth guy, and he's carrying on his family's legacy, and I really admire that.
Yeah, that is really
cool. And John as well, his brother. I think John's older. Yeah. Those two have been just really awesome. And then I really admire Larry Erdman as well.
I do too. If I knew the Barclays,
kind of like
I probably would agree.
The hipster piper.
Yeah, he is so cool.
He's just such a sweet guy, and he's always been very encouraging to me too, you know?
Yeah, he's always so nice.
Nice absolutely. And so, like, one day, it was at some Scottish festival, I can't remember which one, but I was getting ready to not solo, but I was playing for Ruben, which is sort of terrifying, playing for drummers.
I think it's even harder, honestly.
Well, it kind of is, because you're like, if I screw up, I'm messing up their whole chance at anything, you know? And everyone's always told me, like, oh, it's so easy to play with the drummers. You just show up. And I'm like, but...
Yeah, no, the stakes are higher. It's not that easy.
So I've actually been playing with Ruben for how many years? 3 or 4 years I've been his piper. And then I piped for Sandy, who was in the band too for a year. And I even played for Lexi once, which was cool, but that was just drop of the hat kind of a thing. It was terrifying. But Larry was always, he's just like, I would play and I could see him listening to me and I'm like, I know you're not listening to Ruben drumming. You're analyzing my bagpipe. And so I'd go over to him and it'd be like, I screwed up a couple of times. He's like, you did fantastic. I mean, he's always just been super duper supportive.
Yeah.
And just, so those three guys are probably my favorites.
You know what else is amazing about Larry is I think he has every single bagpipe song ever written stored inside of his brain.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And I did say song on purpose because I would include tunes and every other kind of ballad or
sure.
Pibroch, anything. I think he's got it all in his brain.
Well, he plays Irish music too. He does the uilleann pipes as well.
Yeah.
And he's just a rock star. I just think he's just amazing. And yeah, I don't know who else I don't really, I know a lot of bagpipers in Utah because Danny and I were on the board of, what? We were board members for the
district,
the Payson Scottish Festival.
Oh, for the Scottish Festival, gotcha.
For like 6 years, I was on the board, and so I was in charge of masked bands, and Danny did the website. And when do you have to yell at people to tell them where to go for masked bands and stuff? You get to know a lot of people, and I would just walk around because at that time I wasn't necessarily in a band. I was kind of like loosely in a band, and I never competed with Thomas Cordner Band because they're not a competition band. Mm-hmm. So I was a piper, but I wasn't like competing, so I could just mill around and chat with everybody. So my kids hate going around the Scottish Festival with me because I know everyone. Yeah. So they're like, stop talking to people. Well, that's my friend in this band. Well, you shouldn't know everybody.
You should know. You should stop that, Mom.
Sorry, I talk to people, so.
Yeah, I've had the chance to steward a couple of times at some competitions, and it definitely, I feel like I know for sure that I know pipers and drummers here in Utah who do not know me. just because I've put their names onto spreadsheets over it and then had to adjust them a million times and stuff, and then tell them where to go stand and stuff. So I see people walking like, oh, I know who that person is, but they don't know who I am. So, but it's nice to kind of get to know other people.
I thought of another one.
Oh, if it's me, you don't have to say it, Leanne.
No, it's not you. I do think you're pretty awesome. No, there is this piper. His name is Chris Johnson. Mm-hmm. He plays with Salt Lake Scots, and he plays for like all of the dance competitions in Utah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard him Pibroch before.
He is phenomenal.
He really is. He's very good.
The guy has the best stamina on bagpipes that I have ever seen anyone ever have.
Playing for dancers will do that to you.
To play for 6 hours or more for dancers, just the same song over and over. I mean, like, you'd want to shoot yourself, but he is amazing at it, and he keeps that tempo. I admire him so much for what he can do. He's incredible.
And you know all about that because you've got kids who are dancers, right?
If your list's done. Sorry, my kids are bugging me.
That's all right. My kids have to do their list too. I get
Sorry,
it.
say what you just said.
Oh, just go away. That you know all about keeping the tempo for dancers because you have dancers in your house,
I do. I have 3 dancers. So my youngest 3 do Scottish dancing, and has actually been doing it since she was 4 or 5, and she's 11. So we've been doing this for a while. So I decided, hey, I play bagpipes. I should learn how to play the songs so that I can play for them. So I've played for them at quite a few little things here and there. I will never play for competitions because that scares me to death, and I don't want to deal with dance moms. So that will never happen. But I do play for them to perform, which is really, really fun.
So Leanne, where you've got a lot of what I would say experience in the bagpiping and in the drumming and in the dancing as well, and in organizing competitions, all kinds of stuff. Right. What is something that pipers ought to understand about drummers? And
drummers?
Yeah, and what's something drummers ought to understand about pipers?
Well, I think that's kind of tough. So I think something that pipers need to understand about drummers is that they are indeed people. They're not just there for when we just at a drop of a hat, drummers, we need you. They're like the goalies of a hockey team, right? Kind of. They need to be able to warm up and work on their own stuff too. And it seems like with pipers, we're really bossy with drummers, and we don't always let them work on what they need to as a group or as individuals. I think they get looked over a lot too, and I also think that there's a shortage of drummers, so we really should just
there is a terrible shortage of drummers.
We should really treat them the way they need to be treated, so they'll stick around and want to be there. There really is a shortage of drummers, except for at Wasatch District, they have 20, but
I wish they would share.
They're taking over the world.
They need to send. Yeah, they could spare a few drummers.
I know. So I think we just need to treat them a little bit better, and I think that would help a lot, because I've been in quite a lot of bands, and in almost every band, the drums are the afterthought, and I don't think they should be the afterthought. And then I think something that drummers could learn from pipers. Maybe they need to smile more,
How dare you?
Well, we'll be having a grand time, and the drummers are just kind of standing there all grumpy, and it's and this isn't just any, I'm not just talking the high school band, because they're kind of serious for high school kids. I think it's Ruben. I think he scares them. He stuck his tongue out at me. No, but I think I don't know. They need to lighten up a little bit.
Y'all drummers need to have more fun.
They get kind of annoyed with us, where they're like, "You're tuning for 18 hours," and we're like, "We don't want to sound like crap." So, I think they maybe need to understand that our instrument is quite a bit more complex than theirs, and they can suck it up a little bit too. So it goes both ways.
So Leanne, what about for competitors and games organizers? having been on both ends of that, do you feel like there's any breakdown in communication between the people who are competing and the people who set it all up and make it run?
Oh man, it's really hard to put together a Scottish festival. Being on that board, there were so many things that we didn't even know, like what we have to worry about trash, or toilet paper. Mm-hmm. We had no idea. And, you just never know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, some of these people are so incredibly stressed out and you have no idea. And, just treat people nice when you're at the games. Even if they look a little ornery, they probably have had some really crappy things said to them already that day, Yeah. And I forgot, did I answer your question?
No, yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, we might have a bit of two like worlds colliding when you have a piper or a drummer who's all stressed out about the competition piece they've been working on for a year. And then you've got a games organizer who's all stressed out about the, the event that they've been working on for a year. And then you might have we need a little more sympathy or empathy between the two.
Absolutely. Well, and even the sports people, I call them sports people, the games people. So we had a little bit of a head.
That's like the heavy lifters and stuff like that, right? The caber toss and stuff.
Yeah, like the organizers though.
I got you. The organizers.
So they're very sporty people, and they kind of act like sporty people, especially even on the board of directors, where they're kind of like, well, we're just coming in and doing our thing and leave us alone, and we had some head-butting moments with some of them, but then when it comes down to it, they're just as stressed out as we all are, so even if they look like they could beat you up, you still have to be nice to them.
They always look like they could beat me up. I've never seen a single person there who I wouldn't be terrified of.
I think just everybody's really stressed out, and so anyone who's running it or who's in it, everyone just kind of needs to just be nice,
Sound advice.
Yeah.
So, Leanne, is there any TV show that you're binging right now that you would recommend to the listening public?
I haven't watched TV in how many years?
That's great.
I have 5 kids.
Good for you.
I have 5 kids.
Yeah, 5 kids. Do you recommend it?
Having 5 kids?
Yeah.
Now that they're a little bit older, like we have no diapers and stuff, that helps a lot. Everyone sleeps through the night.
Now that sounds like magic. My wife and I are about to have our 4th, and it's kind of like, we are a special kind of stupid. Can't believe we're doing this.
Though? No, my 4th and 5th babies were the best. They were just little angels, and they're the cutest little boys. They're not angels anymore, but they were.
If my 4th is not, I'm sending him to you.
That's fine. I'll take him.
Does it'll be a boy this time. Does pineapple belong on pizza, Leanne?
Yes, it does. Especially if it's fresh pineapple.
Nice. Coke or Pepsi? Or Mountain Dew?
If I had to choose, I would say Dr. Pepper, but I'm really not a soda drinker.
Nice.
Yeah.
A paradigm of health.
No. I've had 5 kids, remember? I stress eat.
What's your current instrument setup?
My current instrument setup. So,
yeah, like what kind of pipes, what kind of reeds do you like, that kind of stuff.
Well, I might get made fun of for this because I'm still playing on the set of booths that I bought when I was in high school. No,
Leanne, you and me, I'm exactly the same way. It's not broke, don't fix it. Booths are excellent bagpipes. They are excellent.
So pretty. Like they just keep on going and.
Well, mine aren't pretty, but they sound nice.
No, that's what I mean. They sound pretty. I have a couple of chips in the imitation. Marble or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But the imitation ivory, that's what it's not marble. Scratch that last part. No, there are still a few little chips here and there from high school because I was really stupid with my bagpipes when I was younger.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what? You can't get a better sound quality. At least I can't. I love my booth bagpipes, and I play on a Warnock chanter. We actually just got new ones, Danny and I, so that we would have matching chanters again. So we have new Warnock chanters. We play on a Chesney Warnock reeds. I like them because they're just really easy to set up. And I'm trying to think of what kind of drone reeds I have. I don't love my bass drone, but I think I can't even think of what I'm playing on.
Honestly, I actually have to ask Mike Swan every time I think about my drone reeds because I can't remember what kind. I'm like, are they Selby's? Are they Cannings? What are they
that's
again?
what I'm on. I'm on Selby. No, I'm on Cannings.
You're on Cannings?
So here's the funny thing, though, because I was playing on my Shepherds, the red ones.
Yeah, yeah.
I was playing on red Shepherds for over 20 years. And they just died like 2 years ago. So I just switched to new reeds, and I'm like, how do I set up reeds?
Yeah.
So, because I've never had to. I mean, except for my students, I've helped
help them get started.
But my own, I was like, this sucks.
Hey, if we're getting into product endorsements, you want to hear something? You want to hear a good story? I've got a Ganaway hide bag that I got used 15 years ago. I don't actually know how old it is, but it's been with me for 15 years, and I definitely am playing on it a lot, and it's still great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've got like a hybrid something that I'm playing on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's got a zipper in the wrong place, so I have to like have a rag in there to make it so my arm doesn't go dead. I just need a new bag.
Talk to Mike about
synthetic.
it. Swan's been working on all kinds of cool bag stuff lately. He made his own.
Oh, I'm not going there. Nope. But I like the bag that I'm playing on because it's synthetic, so I don't have to season it. I was like, my husband plays on a leather one, and he really, really likes it. And I agree. They help so much with like your everything. I
feel like I can play more steady on a leather bag. Personally. But you also get used to what you're used to, so that's part of it. I
played on a leather bag for like 20 years, and I finally got a synthetic bag, and I was like, I may never go back.
Yeah.
I don't have to season it.
To each, different cup of tea for each one of us, huh?
The new ones are pretty cool though, because even the leather ones have zippers, and that right there is a game changer. Nice. When you lose your reed inside your bag, you zip it open. It's fantastic. So. Never had that in high school, and losing your reed inside a high school bagpipe bag was scary.
Oh, for sure. I've got some of those. They were called tone enhancers. They supposedly would enhance your tone. That was a lie, as far as I can tell. An absolute lie. They do nothing to the airflow or the sound or anything, but they do catch your reed. So that's why I still have them. That's the one thing.
That is true. Are they the Don Smith variety?
Probably, because I bought my pipes from him. So
are they white?
Likely. Yeah, they're white.
With little holes?
Yep.
Yeah, so I actually lose my reeds now because I took those out finally. But yeah.
Well, Leanne, to wrap it up, do you have any pre-performance ritual, any sort of, or even just advice for people before they go out on a competition field or before they go out onto a stage? If they're feeling nervous, what should they do?
I like to have my music with me before I go play things, because sometimes on the spot, I will just absolutely forget what the tune even sounds like. So, like if I'm going to go play for my drummer, I take my music with me. I don't necessarily use it unless I really don't know the song, but I take it with me so that I can look at the first few lines and get that tune into my head.
Yeah.
The other thing would be just breathe, You've been practicing, you've been working hard on it, it's there. You just need to breathe and let it come out.
Beautiful. Well, thanks, Leanne.
You're welcome. Sorry, that was like an hour long.
Nah, it's totally cool. Very good. Now, I probably will, for your own sake, trim a couple of the stories out. This is just for the band, but I'm just like, who knows?